They said the Athena wouldn't survive this mission. Then why are we still heading toward them? Because if we turn back now, there won't be a humanity left to save. Captain Marcus Hayes stood on the observation deck of the USS Athena, watching the vast expanse of space unfold before him like an infinite canvas of darkness. The year was 2187, and humanity had spent the last 50 years expanding beyond Earth's solar system. In that time, Marcus had climbed the ranks through sheer determination and intellect, becoming the youngest black captain in the United Federation fleet. His reflection in the reinforced glass showed a man of 45, with silver threading through his dark hair and a scar running from his left temple to his jaw, a souvenir from a pirate raid 6 years prior. "Captain, we're receiving an unusual energy signature," his communications officer, Lieutenant Chen, called out from her station. Her voice carried a tremor of uncertainty. Marcus turned away from the window, his jaw tightening. "Origin. Bearing 025 Mark 40, approximately 2 light-years out. It's, sir, I've never seen anything like it. The energy output is increasing exponentially." Before Marcus could respond, alarms shrieked through the ship. Red emergency lighting flooded the bridge, casting everything in a crimson hue that made the crew look like ghosts. The Athena shuddered violently, and Marcus gripped the railing to steady himself. "Report," he commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos like a knife. "Multiple contacts emerging from FTL jump," shouted Commander Sarah Okafor from Tactical. She was brilliant, sharp-eyed and faster than most officers twice her age. 12, no, 15 hostile signatures. "They're massive, Captain. Each one dwarfs our vessel by at least 400%. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing shapes that defied comprehension. Towering metallic structures with organic components, covered in bioluminescent veins that pulsed with an ominous blue light. They weren't ships in any conventional sense. They were something else entirely, living weapons. "The Zhar'keth," whispered Dr. James Owens, the ship's chief science officer. He stumbled backward, his face draining of color. "They're real. They're actually real." Marcus had read the classified reports, theoretical speculation about an ancient alien civilization that had supposedly destroyed multiple spacefaring species. Most in the Federation considered it mythology, the ghost stories of the cosmos. Now, watching those leviathans maneuver toward them with predatory grace, Marcus knew better. "Battle stations," he said calmly. "Full power to shields. Chen, send out a Federation-wide distress call. Include all sensor data." "Captain, they're opening what appears to be weapons ports," Okafor reported, her fingers flying across her tactical console. "Charging exotic energy signatures." "I'm reading." She looked up, meeting his eyes. "Impact in 60 seconds, sir." The Athena began to rise, its defensive systems coming online. The ship had been designed to be formidable, equipped with plasma cannons, photon torpedoes, and the latest shielding technology. But as Marcus watched those massive weapons platforms come to life, he understood with crushing clarity that humanity's technology was a child's toy in comparison. "Evasive maneuvers," he ordered. "Return fire on my mark." The battle erupted in a symphony of chaos and light. Plasma bolts crossed the void like meteors, and the Athena's shields flared brilliant white as they absorbed impacts. 3 of the massive alien vessels were destroyed in those first exchanges, their towering bodies crumbling into debris. But for every one that fell, the Zhar'keth adapted, their remaining vessels spreading out in a devastating formation. Part 2, The Sacrifice. Explosions rocked the ship. Sparks rained from overhead consoles. Dr. Owens lay slumped against a wall, blood streaming from a gash across his forehead, but still conscious. Chen continued transmitting, her hands shaking as she broadcast their position and situation to every Federation vessel within range. "Shields at 18%. Okafor shouted over the noise. "We're losing them faster than they can regenerate. Engineering reports critical damage to 3 reactor cores." Marcus moved through the chaos with practiced calm, making decisions that would determine whether his crew lived or died. 2 more alien vessels targeted the Athena simultaneously, unleashing weapons that carved through space like angry gods. The starboard side of the bridge exploded in a shower of metal and flame. Alarms wailed endlessly. "The remaining alien forces are moving to surround us," Okafor said, her voice now resigned. She looked at Marcus with an expression that mingled fear and respect. "Captain, we're trapped." Through the observation window, Marcus could see the alien vessels closing in, their bioluminescent veins pulsing in synchronization, as if they were heartbeats in a single organism. 12 hostile contacts remained. The Athena had taken catastrophic damage. The crew had fought with valor, but they were facing extinction. Marcus tapped his comm engineering. "This is the captain. I need everything you have. Pour all remaining power into the weapons systems." Chief Engineer Rodriguez's voice crackled back, strained and breathless. "Captain, if we do that, we lose life support. The crew won't survive more than—" "I know," Marcus interrupted. "Do it." He turned to face his bridge crew. These people had volunteered to serve under his command. They had placed their faith in his leadership. Now, in the final moments, he would not waste their sacrifice. "Okafor," he said, meeting her eyes. "Plot a collision course with the lead vessel. Every ounce of power to the engines." Understanding bloomed across her face. She nodded slowly and began entering commands without question. Chen's voice trembled. "Captain, the distress signal is broadcasting on all channels. If there are any Federation ships within range, they'll receive it." "Good," Marcus said. "That means when we fall, the Federation will know what we faced. They'll be ready." The Athena surged forward, its engine screaming as they were pushed beyond their design specifications. The ship became a living thing, burning with the determination of every soul aboard. The alien vessels tried to adjust their formation, but they were too slow, too ponderous for the nimble human warship. Part 3, the final command. The captain's chair held firm as the Athena accelerated. Marcus sat upright, his hands gripping the armrests, feeling the ship's power flowing through him like a tidal wave. "Impact in 10 seconds, Okafor announced. 9, 8. The crew worked in coordinated silence. Rodriguez in engineering maintained the power surge. Chen continued transmitting data, ensuring that if they perished, their knowledge would live on. Okafor guided the ship with the precision of a dancer performing their final masterpiece. Marcus thought of his mother, who had cleaned hospitals for 30 years to pay for his education. He thought of his younger sister, a doctor on Mars. He thought of every person of color who had been told they weren't good enough, wasn't ready, wasn't qualified to lead. They had been wrong. 5 seconds, Okafor continued. 4, 3. The lead Zhar'keth vessel attempted to move, but it was too late. The Athena, now moving at incredible velocity and fully powered by every reactor in her frame, struck the alien warship like a comet. The impact was catastrophic. The bridge went white with light, then black. When consciousness returned, Marcus found himself floating in darkness. He couldn't hear the alarms anymore. Couldn't hear anything. His eyes slowly adjusted, and he realized he was drifting in the vacuum of space, still alive somehow. Perhaps a stasis pod had saved him at the last moment. Above him, he watched something miraculous happen. The Zhar'keth vessels, damaged from the Athena's sacrifice and suddenly without their leader, began to retreat. The surviving alien ships fired a few final volleys at empty space, then their engines flared with that same eerie blue light, and they initiated a FTL jump. Within minutes, rescue vessels arrived. Federation warships, responding to Chen's distress call, pulled Marcus from the void. The Athena was gone, a field of wreckage and scattered debris. But her mission was complete. As they pulled him aboard the rescue ship, Marcus stared back at the stars where his vessel had made its final stand. He had given his last command, and it had changed the course of human history. The Federation would learn from the Athena's sacrifice. They would prepare. They would survive. Captain Marcus Hayes closed his eyes, knowing that his crew, every single person under his command, had gone down fighting. And in that fight, they had proven something that had always been true. A captain is only as strong as the people who serve under him, and sometimes, the greatest command is knowing when to give everything you have. The last order of the USS Athena had been sounded. And it would echo through the stars forever.